Did you know Shakespeare's most notorious villain, Macbeth, almost did not become a murderer? That's right. At the last minute, he wanted to call the whole thing off. But Lady Macbeth, she pushed him into making one of the darkest decisions in history. Today I'm breaking down the most tense, relatable moment in Macbeth Act 1, Scene 7. And I promise I'll show you not just what Macbeth says, but why this particular moment, reveals how human and vulnerable he truly is. Forget confusing Old English. I'm here to make every line crystal clear. So if you have ever felt pressure, doubt, or even regret, you'll see yourself in Macbeth's struggle. Anyway, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you will finally get why ambition turns heroes into villains and why this scene is the beating heart of the entire play.
Act 2. All right. So this is the scene where we already see that Macbeth had planned the murder, and he had more than Macbeth, it was Lady Macbeth who instigated Macbeth to commit the murder. But after all that conversation with his wife, now he is in a dilemma. He is very hesitant at this point because he knows that there's going to be a lot of consequences which is going to come with the murder, and therefore right now he is not very sure that whether he's going to go ahead with the murder or not. Coming Duncan is going on. Duncan is already inside the castle, and on the other hand, this is the other side of Macbeth's castle, which is shown in on the stage in front of the audience. If it were done when it is done, then it were well, it were done quickly. That if it were done means if the murder would have been done, when it is done, with the very first blow, if the murder would have been over, then it would have been done really quick. Like with the murder, everything gets over and I become the king. So it could have been as fast as that. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence, trammel up over here means confine or restrict the consequences, like holding everything inside a net. Like, if you try to confine the consequences in a net, what would happen? That there would not be any effect of the murder, the after effect of the murder. So he is just wishing that if the assassination could trammel up the consequence, net up or confine all the consequence, and catch with his Cersei's success. That means immediately after the murder, if success also comes as soon as the action is completed. Success over here, what does he mean? He means like the kingship, the crown. But this blow might be the be all and the end all here. This blow refers to, again, the murder. That the murder, the way when I strike Duncan, I kill him with that one blow, it's the end of everything. This is a hypothetical situation. He's wishing that if the murder would have been completed with the first attack, and Duncan gets killed and everything gets over with that murder and no consequence takes place, there's nothing after it, and I become the king immediately, I get all the success, then it would have been the end of everything. We would jump the life, but here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But, so now there is a but over here. Obviously, it would not be like that because murder comes with its consequences, its effect. So, but here upon the bank and shoal of time, bank and shoal of time refers to the life on earth, our earthly existence. I would willingly risk the life to come and fulfill my desire. I would have definitely risked my life to fulfill my desire. What is his desire? To become the king. But in these cases, we still have judgment here. But he's telling that we always have the punishment on this earth itself. Like, whatever you do, the evil deeds that you commit in your life, the sins that we commit, we always get the punishment in this life itself. So then what do we understand? That, he is worried about the morality of his life, that if he does something as bad as a murder, what is going to happen to him? Like, if before doing any wrong thing, every individual goes through this dilemma. This is what he's trying to say, that we but teach bloody instructions which being taught return to plague the inventor. So when we teach bloody instructions, when we give out instructions which are really bad, what happens after that? When we do something, it comes back to us itself. When we teach others what to do, and if it is a bad thing that we are teaching, we only get affected. At the end of it, we only get the result. So it plagues the inventor. Plague is suffering. Inventor is the person who's teaching. This even-handed justice. Even-handed means impartial. Justice is not biased, it's impartial. Commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. So if we do something wrong, what does justice do? Justice gives back ingredients as elements of our poisoned chalice. Chalice is cup. Like, if you're giving somebody poison, the same poison comes back to us and we are forced to drink that poison. Ultimately, what is he trying to say? That if we do something bad, it comes back to us. We only suffer and we have to face the consequences. This is the truth of life. Here, he is here in double trust. Who is he? Duncan. So Duncan is over here and he has two reasons for feeling confident in my palace. There are two reasons that he should feel safe and confident. Number one, first, as I am his kinsman, I am his relative, I'm his cousin. And second, I am his subject. Strong both against the deed. So he has two reasons for feeling confident. First, I am his cousin, and then I am his subject. And not only that, I am also strong both against the deed means I hope you understand, these are like two strong reasons of not committing the murder. Then, as his host, not only that, I'm also his host. He's my guest. Who should against his murderer shut the door? See, our guest, we believe, is like a god, right? And if there's any danger to my guest, the host should protect him. The host should shut the door against the murderer, not bear the knife myself. I should not have the knife in my own hand and kill this man because he's my guest. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek. So Duncan is also a very kind and a gentle king, very good, nice, good king. So therefore, faculties so meek means like he's a very gentle, very kind person. And he hath been so clear in his great office. Like, what is a great office? Like, as a king. Like, whatever duties he has performed as a king, he has always been very fair and just to everyone. That his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off. So he is trying to say that if I murder Duncan, first of all, Duncan is a very good king. Leaving aside, he's my host. He's my guest. I am the host, and he's my cousin. I'm a subject. Leaving aside all that, as a king, also he's like been always very fair and good to everyone. That if I actually commit the murder, what is going to happen? His virtues are like all his good qualities, they will plead like angels. They're going to cry like angels. Trumpet tongued. Trumpet is a musical instrument and it has a very loud noise. So the angels are going to cry with the sound of a trumpet against the deep damnation of his taking off. Deep damnation means the wickedness of this act, the wickedness of this murder. And, they're going to cry so badly because they are against this murder and against the wickedness of this act. Like, how can somebody kill such a good man? And pity like a naked newborn babe. Now, pity, what is pity? Pity over here means when you're moved to emotion, like you're emotionally moved, and you feel pity for that person who was so mercilessly killed. There's a comparison, a figure of speech over here. Pity is like a simile. Pity is like a newborn baby, like a naked newborn baby. When you see a baby just born, like you feel, so affectionate, and the baby is so helpless. Right. So pity is just like that newborn baby striding the blast. It is as if it is riding on the wind. Blast is storm, a wind. Or heaven's cherubim. Cherubim is an angel. Or somewhat like a heaven's angel poised upon the sightless couriers of the air. So couriers of the air. Now, what is the purpose of a courier? Like when you have a courier service, a courier is like a messenger. It conveys the message. It brings, some things, and it conveys the message. So sightless is invisible. So they are like invisible messengers. They are going to carry the news to everyone on this earth. Shall blow the horrid deed in every eye. So the heavens angels are going to spread this news of this horrible crime to every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. So the tears born of pity will be drowning the wind itself. The wind will get drowned when they will find this tears of pity. It means tears will be so much that it is going to drown the wind. Why this is going to happen? When he's going to murder Duncan. He knows that. So this is like, his inner voice is telling him that if I do this, this is going to happen. Because I know that this man is really good. And how can I kill? How can I bear the knife myself? I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent. Spur is urge. So I have no reason. I have no reason to urge. Urge is provoke, tempt me to do this deed. But only vaulting ambition. There is no reason for me to commit this murder. There's nothing to urge me. The only thing that I have is this ambition, which is vaulting. Vaulting means like too high, jumping up too high, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. So what happens when ambition is jumping too high? Imagine a rider who's riding on a horse. If he jumps too high, what is going to happen? He's going to fall. He will overleap and he will fall on the other side. So this is the other side of his ambition. Like if he's too ambitious, he knows that he has to maybe face a bad consequence. And that is the reason he's in a dilemma, and he's really worried, that hesitant rather, that should he really do this deed or not. And at this point, we can understand that actually he doesn't want to do it anymore. Maybe during that moment when he had shared the his desire with his wife, that time maybe he was keen on doing it, but right now he has other thoughts. So here now Lady Macbeth enters. How now? What news? Lady Macbeth. He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber? So he is Duncan. He has almost supped, means he has finished his supper. And why did you leave the chamber? So why did you leave and come here? Hath he asked for me? Means did he call for me? Did he ask for me? Lady Macbeth. No, you not he has. Like, don't you know that he has? Because it's very unusual, right? He has come to Macbeth's castle as a guest. And Macbeth, after a while, he has left from that place and now he is in his room. So it is a little unlikely. That is the reason Lady Macbeth is telling, don't you think that he has asked for you? So now Macbeth tells, we will proceed no further in this business. We are not going to proceed any further in this business. He hath honored me of late. He hath honored me of late means he has given me honors recently. He's referring to the titles, the newly acquired titles that he was given. And I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people. Not only that, I have got favorable opinion, like praises from all kinds of people. And I have acquired those rewards and recognition from everyone. And I don't want to lose them, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon. So he is trying to say that the titles that I have acquired, I want to enjoy and I want to appreciate the people, those who have given me the title. It's like a new dress. You get a new dress and you want to wear those new dress as long as it has that gloss and that shine. So he's comparing his titles to some new dress, and as long as the dress is having that shine and gloss, he wants to enjoy that and not throw it away so soon. Why is he telling this? Throw it away so soon means like he has to throw aside this title if he becomes the king. So he doesn't want to do that. He's telling, I want to enjoy all those things, opinion and the honors the king has given me. I want to enjoy that right now and not keep it aside. Now, Lady Macbeth is enraged. She's very angry. And what does she say? Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? So were you drunk? That when you delivered the news to me that the witches have given this prophecy and you want to fulfill that ambition and you want to get the crown, was it that you were under the influence of some kind of intoxication? Were you intoxicated that time? Hath it slept since? it refers to the hope of becoming the king. So after you delivered the news, now your hope has gone to sleep and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely. So now, after you told me what all you told me, you just slept. Slept over here refers to his desire. You know, his desire was very strong that time. And now, after that, after telling everything, the desire just slept off. And now, suddenly, it was, he woke up. And how he wakes up? Looking green and pale. Green is sickly. Usually when people are intoxicated after the intoxication, they look like this. So you look so green and pale at what it did so freely, what you planned so freely, something that you had planned so freely, now you have completely forgotten. So were you drunk? From this time such I account thy love. So from right now, from this time, I would consider your love also to be so fickle. Just like your desires, they are fickle, your love is also very fickle. Fickle means something which is not permanent, it changes. Art thou offered to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? So art thou offered? Are you afraid? To be the same in thine, to be the same person in thine is to be the same person you are and to fulfill your desire. Act and valor is your courage. Are you afraid to be the person with your own action and courage? What you have always desired? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life? Would thou have that which means the crown? He's referring to the crown, which thou esteemed the ornament of life. So the crown is like the ornament of life, something that everybody desires. So you wanted to have that crown, but you want to live a coward in thine own esteem. So you want to have the crown, you have always desired for it, but now you are living in fear because you don't have the courage to achieve it. Letting I dare not, wait upon I would. So what are you actually trying to do? You're trying to say, I dare not. So you are more like the poor cat in the proverb. So there's a proverb which goes like this, that a cat wanted the fish from the pond, but it does not want to wet the paws. So you are behaving like the cat. You want it, but you lack the courage to achieve it. So that is the reason you're living in fear. And you're telling, I dare not. These are very strong words. And this is how she's trying to motivate her husband. So what does Macbeth is still trying to say? That, see, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. So he actually when somebody is trying to insult in the context of his manlyhood, people usually men, they feel very insulted. He is telling that, see, I dare do all I can do. I dare to do everything that may become a man, that is worthy of a man. But somebody who dares do more, somebody who wants to do more than that, is more than a man. What beast was it then? So were you a beast then when you told me everything? That time you were not a man. More than a man means what? Were you an animal that time? That made you break this enterprise to me? That you broke this news to me? The enterprise is the plan. When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. So again, what she's trying to say, that if you carry out the plan, you would be more than a man. Understood? I repeat, when you planned it, you were like a man. But if you carry out the plan, you would be more than a man. Nor time nor place did then adhere. So that time, you did not even consider the time. You did not even think about the place. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. So now, that time nothing was favorable. Time was also not proper. Situation was also not proper. But now what is there? Now time is also proper and place is also proper. So they here refers to time and place. They have made themselves, means they have made themselves favorable for you. And that their fitness now does unmake you. But now it is spoiling your confidence. It is scaring you. When they have made themselves favorable, because now it's the time, place is also there because he is in our castle and it can be easily done. But now it is destroying your confidence. Now she tells something very terrible after this. I have given suck and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. So now she's talking about her baby. As a mother, she feeds her child, right? And that's a very tender moment when you are feeding your baby. A baby is like very helpless, and the baby doesn't have the power to protect or defend. The baby is completely dependent on you when you're feeding the baby. So she's telling, I have given suck and I know how tender it is to feed my baby. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this. So if I would have broken the promise, no, the way you are breaking now, I would have just taken the face of my baby, like the head, and I would have dashed his brains out. Means I would have killed my baby. And when would I would have killed it? While I'm feeding the baby. So if something as terrible as breaking a promise, I would have done, no, then this is what I would do. Again, this shows very vicious side of Lady Macbeth, because usually you will never see a mother behaving like this. That also talking about her own child, and that also at a very tender moment, very affectionate moment when she's feeding the baby. But this is what she tells. Okay, so now Macbeth, when he heard these powerful words from his wife, he tells, "What if we fail?" So Lady Macbeth tells, "We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place. There's no possibility of we failing. Screw your courage, keep your courage, and stick to your courage." Sticking place means like don't move from there. Gather up all your courage and be strong in your courage. Stick to your courage, and we will not fail. We're never going to fail. So now she talks about the way they're going to execute the murder. Now she tells that when Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey. So Duncan will be asleep shortly at night. Why? Because it has been a tiring day and he will fall asleep. It would be a sound sleep. So while he is asleep, what are we going to do? Soundly invite him his two chamberlains. Chamberlain is a guard, like somebody who guards the king's, like a security guard. Okay. They are usually at the door. So I'm going to invite his two chamberlains. And what I will do, will I with wine and vassals so convinced, I'm going to intoxicate them with wine and merrymaking. Like, basically in normal English, I'll make them party, but you don't write the word party. You say that she's going to intoxicate them with wine, and in vassal is merrymaking. So I'm going to, allow them to drink and rejoice. That memory, the water of the brain, I'm going to intoxicate them to such an extent that the memory of their memory will be absolutely gone for a toss. So what is memory compared to? The water of the brain. The water means the guard of the brain. Memory is like a guard of the brain. Like we remember, no, that like keeps us awake. So memory shall be a fume. It will be blurred completely. And the receipt of reason a limbeck only. Again, their reason will be lost and memory will be completely blurred. And what she's trying to say is that she will completely intoxicate them, that their minds will stop working. And if their minds stop working, they will not realize what had happened that night, and they're going to put the entire blame on the chamberlain, that as if they have committed the murder. This is a metaphor. Here, the word limbeck is used as a metaphor, that their minds, the guards' minds, will be emptied and they will lose all their reason. Swinish sleep, their drenched natures lie as in a death. So they are going to sleep. They're going to go into their heavy sleep. They're going to sleep like the pigs. Swinish sleep means they're going to sleep like pigs, deep sleep. And the way they're going to sleep, it's as if they are dead. Like, when people are drunk, that's how they sleep. So when they will sleep like that, is there anything that we cannot do? Because Duncan is going to be unguarded at that time. The chamberlains will be asleep. So spongy officers means, again, the drunken guards, the chamberlains. And they will bear the guilt of our great quell. Quell is murder. They will bear the guilt of the murder. Now he is completely charged up after all these powerful words. So this is what he tells. Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. So he's telling that bring forth, to his wife is telling that you should give birth to only male children because you're so courageous. Your undaunted metal, the kind of spirit that you have, which is undaunted, very courageous, should compose nothing but males. Your fearless spirit will only allow you to have bear male children. You will only give birth to male children. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it? So what does he say? That will it not be received? So don't you think people will believe this when we are going to stain with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber? Those sleepy means the chamberlains, the guards. So we are going to stain their bodies with blood, with Duncan's blood, and use their very daggers that they have done it. So this is what we are planning to do, that we are going to use their daggers and we'll commit the murder, we'll stain their bodies with blood, and people will believe that they have done the murder. Who dares receive it other? As we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death. So Lady Macbeth seconds his suggestion and tells that yes, there will not be any chance of people to believe anything else. Why? Because we are going to make a lot of noise upon his death. We are going to cry loudly. We are going to show our grief so loudly. Clamor is loud. We'll make our grief and clamor roar upon his death that nobody will even think of anything else. Macbeth. I am settled. So I am settled means I have made up my mind and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. So I will use each of my powers to do this terrible act. Corporal agent over here refers to my bodily faculties, like my physical movements. I will use each physical movement of my body to do this terrible murder. Away and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. So now away. Let's go and let's mock the time. Let's deceive everyone. Let's put on a false face, false expression on our face. And in this way, we are going to deceive everyone because we're not going to show what is there in our heart. So false face refers to a face which is not true and genuine, and it is going to hide. It should hide what the false heart doth know. The heart is false means when it's not loyal, when it is not honest. So the face should hide it. And how you can hide it? Only with a false face, a face which is filled with lies. And that is the only way you can hide the evil, the treachery in your heart. So with this, the scene ends. It's a long scene.
That brings us to the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I've tried to make it really simple, easy for you, so that you can score well in your exam. If you think the video was helpful, please subscribe to the channel. That means a lot for me. And support the channel. And of course, stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much for listening to the video, and have a beautiful day ahead.